All right. Well, you guys are like dedicated. Amy, welcome back from Thailand. Oh my gosh. You are dedicated to get on here. When you just got back, did you get back late last night?
No, we got back at 3:30 yesterday, but we started traveling at 8 the morning before. Takes 34 hours to get home.
Oh my gosh. How are you even functioning right now?
I can't complain, honestly.
Okay. Okay. We don't feel bad for you. Just kidding. So fun. Can't wait to see all your fun pictures you're going to post. Um, All right, so I wanted to go over something real quick before we turn it over to the wonderful Jessica. But we had a FIBC Zoom. You guys know we have a separate Zoom for all the people that are FIBC, right, in this group. And we just try to make this group better and just try to plan things and just really get a poll for your teams. And so these ladies had a wonderful idea. Um, it was Laurie, Lori, Gretchen, and Marcy, and they had a really good idea. They really loved when we did the I'm Healthy and I Know It, how we all helped contribute to that to really get it going and lots of participation in that group. And so we're going to bring that back, but in a slightly different way. And Lori was so cute. She had such fun ideas. I'm going to tell you what they came up with. So every day of the week is going to have a theme, and what we'll do, if you guys are on board with this, is that the person who leads this Zoom for the week, that's just their week to contribute to that page. Now you can call upon anyone to help, anyone in your team. Specifically, this is a time for your team to really help. You guys know that you appreciate it more, and your team appreciates the group more when they're assigned something and they know what goes into it and like helping prepare and teach and all that. We all know that as health coaches. So when it's your week on here to present, then you take the whole week, that Monday through Friday, even though it's Thursday you present, and you help in the group. So each day is going to have a theme. Monday is maintenance tip. Tuesday is Tuesday. Oh my gosh, hold on. I should have written this out better. You know what? I'm not even going to go through. I'm not going to try to read my notes right now. But these ladies had such good ideas Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of like all different categories of like a recipe, a hack, a habits of health, personal journey story, but it all corresponds with, it's kind of a fun little alliteration. So I'm going to post that, and you can do a live, you can do a post, you can have yourself or a team or call upon somebody else to do that. You're just in charge of like planning that week. So that we can just kind of get that going. I thought that was brilliant. What do you guys think? You guys like it? Okay. You guys all game to do that on your week?
So thank goodness I only have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
And it's just Monday through Friday. So okay. You only have Thursday, Friday.
All right, then.
If you want to do something on the weekend, that's totally fine. But I don't personally sit down at my computer much those days, if any. Okay. And then also we're going to be doing something in the coaching corner. And all of us FIBCs in the group are going to take a day. And then all of you guys that are on our teams, we're going to assign that out. But each day as well, Monday, client support, Tuesday, client acquisition, Wednesday, coach support or coach acquisition, coach support, then Friday, personal development. And we'll have like a tip where we get on and share that so that all the coaches in the group have some kind of new material to go off of, or a tip for the day or an action step. Because a lot of coaches don't always get on the Tuesday 20. And if they just had a little bit to get them, then maybe they would, get more on them, more on the other Zooms. And who doesn't like a good tip? So that's what we're kind of planning. You guys good with that? Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Jess. But I just had to say, I went to her home party last week, and oh my gosh, I just have to brag on her for a minute. I was so stinking proud of Jess. She just really stepped up, and it's really fun. To me, I just love seeing you guys present and evolve, and being a part of your transformation, not just physically, but like as a person. And it's just been so fun to see that with Jess. She was just so poised, and she was just so confident and funny and happy, and just explained things so well in her at that event. And she had the whole thing packed. She spent a lot of time presenting, or a lot of time preparing. So I was just so proud of her, and it's been fun to see her journey as she's gotten to that point. When I met her, she was amazing, and I thought, oh my gosh, she'd make a great health coach. But it's just crazy to see how much more amazing everyone gets, like over the next, just over the past few years that I've been working with her. So I'm just so proud of you, Jess. So I'm excited to have you lead the discussion today.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction and those compliments. I do appreciate that. I thought a little bit about that, and I had this huge resistance, this major discomfort, since that's what we're going to be talking a little bit about today, about doing events for the longest time. And all I had to do was just put a little bit of effort into it and change my thought about it. So yeah, I was like, oh, if I ever have one, no one's ever going to come. And then I had like 28 to 30 people come. I think 2 coaches invited 1 person. So, and then I was able to invite everybody else, and I count the coaches who came too as people that I invited that were able to come. So that made it really fun, and I appreciate all those who helped me present and be there. Corinne, Maiken, Chantel. Is that everybody? Hope I didn't miss somebody.
Hillary.
And Hillary was there, yes. Okay, so did any of you, everybody come on your screen if you can. I want to see faces today. There's like 7 of you I can't see. So raise your hand and let me know if you had the opportunity to listen to 222, episode number 222. So about 4 or 5 of us? Okay. And then I don't know about the other people who aren't on screen, but hi everybody who's listening in the background. I loved this because Jody Moore, she said the reason why we don't have our goals is because we have chosen not to be uncomfortable. And so when Chantel talked about that, it really hit home for me with the whole doing events, or maybe even for Heidi Walker, it's doing the lives. And something that really, really helped me to grow was to realize that when we choose to be uncomfortable and to have discomfort in our lives, and we choose to embrace it, those are the times when we actually are growing, like we're actually learning. So for me, it's been events, or sometimes whenever I feel like I failed at something, I'm actually growing, I'm actually learning something. Because when you feel failure, right, it's totally uncomfortable, right? It's totally uncomfortable. You don't ever want to feel that. Or if you feel like a rejection, she kind of talked a lot about these things. And then she talked about how cool it is to have thought flurries. And for me, it's like ideas of marketing, like what can I do strategically to help get the word out? And so there's tons of different things that we can do. And I want everybody on their paper that's in front of them, or in their notes on their phone or something, to write down one thing that makes you feel uncomfortable. And I want you to do it today, tomorrow, or Saturday. You have 3 days to do it, and post in the group. If you've already been doing lives, it needs to be something different. Like if it has to be something that's uncomfortable for you. So maybe it's running across the street and just talking to a neighbor, taking over your gift and talking directly face to face and saying, hey, I just didn't know if you know what I do. Talk for 10 minutes. Don't just be like, yeah, you run to the front door and you haven't even met him yet. That's me. I'm talking about my neighbor. That's probably what I'm going to do. So just, you guys understand what I'm saying. Okay, so then there was one quote that she said too. She said, however, doing these hard things and experiencing discomfort is the only road to success. So that's why I'm challenging you. Like, hopefully you look at it as a challenge, not like, oh, this is so uncomfortable, right? This is a challenge. This is going to be fun. So make it be something that's fun and not like daunting. Okay, so tell me what your words are. What are you thinking? Because I'm only hearing crickets, obviously. What are your thoughts?
I listened to something last night about how our brains think, like, why do we always think uncomfortable is bad? Like, it's in our wiring, in the whatever, thousands of years ago, we sought to be we sought to be like, we didn't want like a lion eating us, and we wanted to be comfortable. We wanted to be fed, and we really sought that out. But now that's not really a concern anymore, like Dr. A says in his book. So it's like our wiring is the same, but like we seek ultra, 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 ultra comfort, and we don't need that. We can get on the phone. Like, people thousands of years ago would be like, they don't want to know what phones were, but like they would think that was so funny that we felt uncomfortable doing something like that. Like, you're not getting eaten by a lion or a tiger. So it's just in our wiring of brain. We have to calm that down and say, discomfort is not bad, because this is actually not even discomfort. It maybe feels like that, and we associate that because of our culture or because of our wiring, but it's really not.
Exactly. It's interesting that is in Dr. A's Habits of Health too. It's in his book. He talks about this. This is something that's been going on for a long time, but also, God, what is this lady's name again? This podcast? I'm sorry. I'm nervous. What's her name?
Is it Brooke Castillo?
Yes. Thank you. Brooke Castillo. She even says something about, being discomfort or uncomfortable is only like if somebody, you only need to be like what Chantel was saying, if somebody's coming at you with a knife or something like that, or like she said, a lion. And what's really cool is that this is actually going to help you to manage your mind. This is something that's actually going to help you manage your mind. And another thing that Brooke Castillo talks about, how to learn how to manage your mind. And so when you realize this, maybe it feels like overwhelm. That's for me what it feels like sometimes. I'm like, oh, I have to work. And I feel, and that's actually me feeling uncomfortable because I'm going to actually grow. So this light just this thought just switched in my head. And then sometimes it's uncomfortable when we have haters. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that too, because then that brings in like the 10X rule. Well, at least you knew me, kind of a type thing. And that's kind of where I go with it, because I have a lot of haters. And Gretchen actually talked to me about this at the Vegas event, and she was saying, oh, you do have a lot of haters. And I actually don't care that I do, because they know me now. They know me. And at first, like 3 years ago, it was totally uncomfortable. And that's all I thought about. And I totally was like worried about what people thought about me. But now it's more like I'm actually only worried about what God thinks about me, to be honest. He's the only person I want to ever impress, and do my best for.
Again, Jess, like a hater is like a false sense of safety. Like, what does a hater actually do? Unless they're coming at us with a knife, which, okay, that's really morbid, but like just somebody not agreeing with what we're doing. Why do we think that's uncomfortable, and why do we think that's a bad thing? Like, what does that do for us? Do you ever, like, they may send you an email. What's the worst thing that they really do? Like, we think that's a bad thing, but that's not really a bad thing. It has nothing to do with us. Yeah, Micah.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Gretchen, then Micah.
Okay. Oh, I was going to say the same thing, Jessica. Like, here, people say mean things all the time, and you just have to remember it's way more about them than it is about you. Like, whatever, people. But, or we can be the other way, because I think it's interesting that Rachel Hall says she just doesn't go on Amazon and read any of her reviews. Like, I thought that was super interesting. She's like, I get a billion great ones, and I let the one negative one bug me, so I just don't look at them anymore. I thought, it's a little harder on Facebook, but I thought, isn't that interesting? Someone so successful still struggles with that?
I was just going to say that a couple months ago, Shannon and I were talking, and she was telling me about a hater. And she said something so powerful. She was like, if you have haters, you're going in the right direction. Like, bring on my haters. Where are they? Let me find them right now, because that means that I'm doing something right. And that like really resonated with me. And I've never forgot that she said that, number one. And then the other thing, Jess, that I wanted to say was, am I just weird, or when we do those uncomfortable things and we get them over with and you finish them and you're like, wow, I did that. That is like the moments for me when I feel the most alive. Like, life is awesome. Like, I just totally did that really hard thing and it was amazing. I'm so proud of myself. Does anybody else ever feel that way?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's why, because you've learned something, and that's the dopamine rush of learning what that feels like, of accomplishing that. And so I would suggest also, whenever you do this, whatever the thing is that you're going to do, I hope you guys tell somebody, at least tell us in our group, because it's kind of like if you have a plan and you go to the party, you're like, oh yeah, I have a plan, and then you don't tell anybody, it's not going to get done, right? So be sure to post it on here, because that is just what Aubrey said. That's where the growth happens. You know, that's the dopamine. And so write down what that exciting feeling is like. That's why I have that on my vision board. I have that girl going like this, because that's what I want to feel. That sense of accomplishment is joy, you know, where that growth comes from. So I love that. No, it's not weird. You're normal.
Hey, Jess.
Yes.
Sorry, Kelby, did you want to say something?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just remembering. So I have a friend that's an awesome musician. She's an oboe player. And after a performance, she told her mom, she was like, I messed up. I made all these these mistakes. And her mom just told her, but think of all the notes that you played right. And she is amazing and incredible. And I was just thinking about it. So funny. You get on these YouTube videos of these amazing musical performances, and I am always shocked that there's always someone that's done a thumbs down or hundreds of thumbs down or whatever, and thousands of people that love this inspiring music. And I just thought, you know what, there are always going to be people that see the negative, but think of all of those people that music has inspired. And it's the same with anything that we're passionate about. I'm not much of a musician, but we can definitely inspire people if we don't focus on those mistakes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Don't focus on all the good that we're doing, you know, be the good in the world. And it's so interesting how that one negative thought or that one negative comment or body language or whatever it is can make you feel so grumpy and so down. So that is so cool. Like, I think it's important to focus on all the good, because I really feel like when you track that kind of data, there, like I've mentioned before, in his book, there was a guy, and I don't remember his name. See, I'm not good with this stuff, but he said tracking the failures are loud, but when you track the data of all the good things, it's quiet. And that really, really stuck out with me. And so I've been really telling my clients, track the data. How many choices that you made today were good? You got your water in, you got good sleep, you ate all of your meals, you just forgot a healthy fat or whatever. Don't focus on that one thing. Keep going. No, don't slash all the other tires. And so, Kelby, you were going to say something too.
I was just going to say, when we do those hard things or those uncomfortable things and we accomplish it, there's people talking, so I'm trying to, my brain, our brain said it's okay and it's really not that scary, and then we get comfortable with doing those things, and then we find something else uncomfortable to do, and that's how we grow. I think sometimes like this, sometimes things will always be uncomfortable for me, but you know, we just teach our brains that it's okay. We didn't die. I didn't die doing that. It's okay, you know, and just to keep going and find more uncomfortable things to do, because you're right. That's the only way.
And I love it when I don't die. Like, I feel that feeling. Like, I'm going to die. Like, whenever I used to do the lives, I used to be like, my heart was beating and my hands were really warm and I had sweaty armpits, so I had to make sure my arms were down. Like, just silly things like that happened. And now it's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a live. And if 6 people watch it, great. 6 people, you know, nobody ever hops on my lives. It's just a thing. I just plan on that now. Not even my own husband. He'll like it, but he doesn't get on. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is that there's like a couple, thanks, Shan. There's a couple of things, 2 kinds of discomforts. And the first one is not pursuing, evolving, or growing, not allowing who you are and, you know, the potential of you to come out. And that really, really was like, oh, that is awesome, because if you want to stay stagnant, then don't be uncomfortable, right? You'll never be uncomfortable and you'll never learn. Simple as that. Number 2, the other kind of discomfort is the currency for your dreams, she said. And I was like, ooh, that is so good. Currency for your dreams, because money talks to me. Money talks to me. And so when she used the word currency, I like that. And then it also is the identity for your dreams, like shifting your dreams. That. And then she says, look for the discomfort. Don't detour the discomfort. You will become better. How do you get good at it? And then she said, by being uncomfortable. We don't quite get there in the, oh, and then she gave the example, sorry. Sometimes we don't quite get there. What if there's this coaching goal that we have and we don't get there? What if some of you guys don't make the cruise? Are you still going to continue to push and work to the very end and not call it the bitter end? Because if you call it the bitter end, then that's, in my book, that's negative. You've worked so hard at reaching this goal, it's absolutely attainable, and to focus on the fact that you can get there. She says, so what if you don't get there, but you're not going to dodge the discomfort? You're actually working so hard, and at the end, you're going to be like, yes, I made it, and I did everything I could. And I'm sure in that moment too, in this whole last 6 months, that our businesses have grown. Like some of them have 2 times. Some of the businesses have 2 times in what's gone on. I'm at the highest I've been in a long time on my frontline volume. That's it. Frontline volume. I finally made it over 6,000. Super cool. So anyway, I don't have anything else. So I want to hear from you ladies, if you guys have any other thoughts, please chime in.
It reminds me of the quote that Jared, I don't know where it originally comes from, but Jared said it a lot at the team event. Discomfort is the price you pay for a meaningful life. And I mean, it goes along with all those quotes, just that you said, the currency for your dreams, the identity of your dreams, like really, like that is really sinking into me. I think that in order to have a meaningful life, sometimes my brain wants to go to the life of ease. I want to get to a point where my life is easy, but it's no longer that anymore. Hold on, carpool's honking. Somebody else talk.
Okay, sorry. I've like read everything on my notes. So I guess the question is, how do you get good at it? I think that would be a good question to go over. How do we get good at discomfort?
I think it's all about awareness, like recognizing that we're uncomfortable and then thinking, is this really going to kill me? No. So should I? Why not? You know, I don't know. It's not always that simple and that easy, but I think it all starts out with awareness and recognizing that you're uncomfortable, recognizing that I'm uncomfortable, and then making some sort of action plan after that to achieve it or whatever, so that I'm not uncomfortable anymore. Because once you do something that's uncomfortable, you're not uncomfortable anymore. I mean, you may feel like, oh gosh, I did that and I don't know what anyone's going to think or say about it, or like no one's commented on my live, but the discomfort goes away after you do it. So I don't know. Does that make sense?
It does. No. So my next question too is, what does discomfort look like for each of you? Who would like to chime in and tell me what that looks like, but also maybe what that feels like? I think it's important to pay attention to what that feels like. For me, I feel it here in my chest. That's overwhelm and a little bit anxiety and then what I do is I go and I turn on Alexa, I turn on one of my favorite jams, and I actually dance through an entire song. And I do a little bit of breathing and just kind of like look out my window and relax. And then when I'm at a better head, like a better mood in a better place, then I go back. You know, sometimes I'll take a potty break and do some other stuff, but you know what I mean? Like just take care of me and having some of those breaks. But what does it look like for all of you?
Just something that I read a while back was that nervousness and excitement feel the same in our bodies. And so if we can just shift the thought to I'm excited instead of I'm nervous, then we can give our brain different information to work with. And so that's something I'm trying to be better at doing when I have that anxiety come up. Just say, no, you're excited because this is going to be big and this is going to help you. And it doesn't always work, but I'm trying to get better at switching the thought because it feels the same in my body. And so just kind of tricking myself into being excited instead.
Ooh, I like that. So the very last thing you said, trick yourself, but you said something before that. What was it that you said again? Do you remember?
So my brother, when we were headed to go global, my brother lived in Florida, and I was telling him that I just had all this anxiety, and he was like, well, that just means you're going to do something big. Your body knows that it's excited, and sometimes nervousness and excitement feel the same. So just tell yourself you're about to do something big and decide to be excited instead.
I have to comment here. This is huge. I have seen this in health coaches. There is like my first couple of years before I really learned empathetic coaching and to really understand people and really talk people and like help them understand what's going on. This happened to me like so much, you guys, before National Convention. I had coaches call me and cancel like the day before National Convention. And they'd be like, I don't think I should go. I just don't think I should go. And I was like, oh, tell me more about that. Is that like a spiritual thing? Or is that like, and they're like, I don't know. I just feel like I really shouldn't go. And I'm like, and I've come to understand that, you know, whatever you believe spiritually, you know, it's not saying anything with that. Like that's totally something separate. But this is like, we feel nervous sometimes and we say to ourselves, you question, and Jody Moore also talks about this too, you question if you should be doing something and you think it's a bad thing, that same feeling, and you back off. Oh, I just don't feel like it's a good thing to do. And really be clear on that, because those are so separate. And that is exactly what I've come to notice, is that coaches, or they'll be successful and they'll get excited and they go, oh, that's a bad thing. Why do we associate that together? So run towards it, be the bison, get through it.
Yeah, I agree. I think some of our thoughts end up holding us back. It's kind of the same thing. What people, I don't know who it was that said, you are what you eat. Well, it's really, you are what you think, right? But then sometimes we take it out on food or something like that. But yeah, I mean, like, it really, we hold ourselves back. And I just had one of my clients, my sister-in-law, actually message me back and said, I wish I could be more like you. And I was like, you can. You can. She's like, how do you do it? And I said, you just have to believe. And I know that it's so hard, but I've worked on this for 3 years and really believed and really did my best to actually change a lot of my thoughts and still working on it. But I was so unhealthy. I'll tell everybody, my mind and my brain was so unhealthy. The way that I thought, because I used to always say the way I grew up, but it's not even that. It was me this whole time. I'm taking ownership for everything that I used to do, for everything, and for the way that I used to think. And I am going to be responsible now and allow my thoughts to take me places that I never thought they could take me before. And that was something, is that my dreams held me back. And so ladies, I just really want to encourage all of you that you can totally do it. Like, I don't know the words, but hopefully you can see and feel my passion and know that what we're doing is actually helping people like become amazing, you know, and in this process, being able to change my own self and my own thoughts. Like when Travis and I first got married, I was a really, really selfish person, like really selfish. And we're lucky we got pregnant right away, like 2 months after, because I probably would have divorced Travis, you know, because of who I was. It wasn't because of him. It was because who I was. I was just really an unhealthy minded person. I had a lot to learn. And because of all of this, I'll never divorce him now. But you guys know what I mean? Like, I just have learned so much and gained so much passion and so much confidence and so much life. I actually get to live life fuller than I've ever been able to do that. And so focus and pay attention to your discomfort and what that comes out in you as, or what maybe it's aches and pains or a sore neck or just whatever feeling that could be. It could be so many different things, but write down and do that one thing that I challenge you also that is uncomfortable for you, because that's when you're going to actually grow the most.
Okay, I love your challenge, Jess. That is perfect. You guys are willing to do that and not just say, oh yeah, I'll do that. We all know how that goes, right? Okay, put it in the group. I want to hear today. And that was just amazing. Thank you so much. And Merry Christmas, you guys. No meeting next week, but 2 weeks from today, and it will be the new year. So exciting, but we'll keep up with you in the chat thread. Thank you.
Shan?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Gretchen wants to say something.
Oh yeah, Gretchen, hold on.
I know my boys are being noisy. So you did such a good, awesome job, Jessica, and it's so fun to see the growth in other coaches. But I was wondering how many of you guys are in Jody Moore's Be Bold program? Has anybody else joined that, or do they just listen to her podcast?
Lori is raising her hand. I've been in the past. I'm not in it right now, but
because I finally just did it, and actually Jen Walker told me she joined Brooke Castillo's, but Brooke's is like $300 a month. So that's really expensive. Jody's is a great deal compared to $300 a month for Brooks. And Brooks kind of mean, like, if you stop, she kicks you out. She won't let you back in for a year. So, but I just think it's been really beneficial. I just joined like last month or something. And it's interesting to do it instead of just her podcast. Like, I think I've learned way more actually once you do the coaching part than the podcast. So if you guys haven't thought about doing that, I think it's what is it, Lori, like $49 a month or something? It's not super bad. And I don't know, just a plug there. Not that Jody gets paid from us, but if that's something
you get a cut from this, right, Gretchen?
Right. So I think that's been I think listening to her podcasts are great, but I think doing the work is even better. So
yeah,
there you have
it. I think I'm glad you brought that up, Gretchen, because I know at the beginning of the year, as we're setting goals and stuff for the new year, really to invest and decide what personal development things you're going to invest in yourself. And that may be one of them, or, wherever you are. So I also know a really good life coach. It's actually Marcy's sister, and I'm working with her. If you need somebody, honestly, that's how I got to my 90-day goal she helped me through that. It was amazing. We all have our health coaches, but it's kind of like that, but the next level where you spend an hour really dissecting things. Cause that's not what we do as health coaches. We don't fix people. You know what I mean? We're not
yeah. Well, and when I talked to Tia Woods when we were at the Fitbit conference, she told me, she's like, we spent $100,000 in personal development in the last few years, $100,000. So she's like, if you want to grow and you want to get there, she's like, you're going to have to invest in yourself, and probably outside of this, finding that life coach or paying a coach or something that they've spent $100,000 in personal development. So that was an interesting thing to have her tell me, that they invest in themselves at that level. So for $49 a month, I think Jody's a great place to start, unless there's somebody else but just that really, come on, that's not even a whole client for any of us a month, and it's been really different to listen to those calls than just to listen to her podcast. So
yes, absolutely. No, when I went to Sundance last year, Dr. A got up and talked about how he spends 3 to 4 hours a day on personal development. You guys, Dr. A, I think that really got to me, and that's what I focused on this past year, and it totally has worked. It's helped me a lot. Dr. A, he not only is a health coach just like us with the biggest business in the whole company, but he also runs, helps with the what do you call it? The other side, the actual company side, the corporate side. And to think that he spends 3 to 4 hours a day like doing that, that's how important it is. If we feel stuck, that's what it is. That's why we have this. So I love that. Thanks for chiming in, guys. Okay, I'll let you guys go. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. We'll see ya.